What's going on, guys? Cody from MotorcycleMD. In this video, we'll be hopping back onto the KZ400. I got a new tail light that I want to install on it. Maybe figure out where the license plate bracket goes. Not a big deal, but we also need to figure out how we're going to mount the speedometer, because this normally comes with two. Trying to trim things down, we need to go to one, and got to figure that out. Nothing crazy, it's a couple of quick techniques on what we're going to be doing, and to be honest, I really don't know what I'm doing all that much. So that's fun. If you are new to the channel, welcome. We do videos on motorcycle repair, maintenance, builds, motor overhauls, all different types of stuff. I have a lot of stuff going on right now. And if you've been following the channel, don't worry. The XO185, the CL350, it's all being worked on. It's all conglomerately being worked on at the same time, which is insane. But if you're into that type of thing, be sure to like and follow the channel. And if you enjoy working on your own bike and fixing it rather than breaking it, I have an awesome course that me and my buddy Matt from How To Motorcycle Repair put together. I've been in the industry for about 10 plus years working for Honda, and I know a thing or two about what you should be doing on your bike on a consistent basis. It's a course totally for free, a gift for you for stopping by. I think you'll enjoy it. Thousands of people have. And you can grab that in the description. So let's get rocking on this KZ. Alright, so with the key on, we can test some power. The light on the bottom of this, we got power, so I'm going to assume that this is ground. Black with yellow or black with green, it has a ground wire going to the frame right there, so that's ground. We know that. That's got a red light, that's got power. And that's likely our brake light. This blue, we can test that with just hitting the rear brake, which we know that switch works. There's our red light. So the brake switch works, and this is our brake light wire. So it's good to test the lights that you get wherever you get them from before you install them. I'm going to assume that black is our ground. So let's go black to ground and white to power. There's a little, I don't know if that's brake or running. That one's brighter. Okay, there's brake light. There's running light. Brake light. It's not very bright, but that's how they are. So this would be ground. Doesn't really fit very well right now. That's okay. Red is running. And blue is brake light. So with that somewhat set up, if I hit the brake light and the brake, boom. Our rear brake switch works, our front pressure switch does too. Sweet, now we can mount it. So first what I want to do is find the center line of this fender. And these 2 points are pretty even. And this is where the turn signals, I don't know what these were for, honestly, but I'm going to leave them on there just in case he wants to add turn signals afterwards. He doesn't want turn signals right now. So I think if we just measure a straight line from here to here, this one's a little bit bent, but we can do a straight line, find the center of that, then we can put our little line where we want to kind of mount this thing at. I'm going to say it's 7 inches, so we can say 3.5 is our center line. That looks pretty center, which would mean it's pretty dang close. Now this light has an offset to it. What I also need to do is put the seat up here. There should be a mounting somewhere in this vicinity. It's not the flattest spot, but we can washer it and make it nice and even. Overall, that looks like the most center, so I'm gonna go here. This is difficult. There. And this hinge that it's on is kind of like offset to the left, so it kind of throws you off a little bit. But I kind of like that. As long as the light is center, I think we'll be fine. So that looks good to me. We can drill the holes a little bit bigger for some grace. I can kind of move it around and tilt it left or right if I need to. It looks so off like that. We'll see. Gives me a little bit of turning room. I don't like it. I'm okay with that. I like the little modular look. I like it to look a little bit dorky, to be honest. As weird as that may sound, the dorkiness of it, I think. And not that it is dorky. It's not dorky, you know? It's, I don't know. I like the simpleness of a single light. I think it looks kind of cool. So, boy needs some milk. This license plate mount went through a couple different variations. I had it on the right side, I had it underneath the light, I had it in all the different ways, but the left-hand side worked best because the seat wouldn't open up if it was on the right side. So, you're gonna get on the bike as a passenger. You just need to. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh. Yeah, that'll work. Just need to get that angle right. Kind of make it a little more permanent. So I like that. I need to figure out the wiring up front. I'm tired of looking at this. I would rather it be working. My buddy does not want full-fledged all the gauges and how it all was. He wants it a little bit more stripped down. But the way that this bracket fits on there, it can fit 2 of the gauges, obviously, and I want just 1. All I want is the speedometer on there, right, like that. And with the 2 gauges, I think it's just a bit much. So we're gonna try to trim it down to 1 gauge. And I thought of an idea that may or may not work. I think that we can get by with utilizing the center section and fit this on there. I'm becoming more and more confident that it's going to work because these almost line up, these back posts here. The issue is this bottom stem here, right? Because that is coming out the bottom like that and it's angled. But I'm pretty sure we can make this thing fit on there cleanly, which means we'll just install this and trim off the fat of what we see and try to make it as round as possible behind it. But I think that might work. I don't have my little hacksaw with me. I usually have like this little like tool that I could use, but I got an idea. What if bingo! Also, fun fact, when it comes to gauges, guys, don't ever leave your gauges upside down. There's actually some oil behind this needle on some of these, like a little pocket of oil, or like a felt that has oil in it, and when you leave them upside down, it will literally drain out, especially when it's hot in a garage. And then if you ever see some gauges that have like a slick oil spread from underneath the needle, that's because they were left upside down. So, trying to keep them right side up, shall we? Grinding it down. Looks pretty symmetrical. Boom. That joker fits right in there. And it has a little stay for the light bulb. I dig it. Now we're just gonna cut these ears off. There we go. That will do. I do think I'm gonna need to stabilize this a little bit better. I think that might shake too much. But that's easy because I left that hole in the back. And with the light bulbs in both sides, it might stabilize this pretty well. The tack cable will now run into the light, but I'm not as concerned with that yet. Sweet. A little single speedometer finesse. I dig it. Very simple looking. I'm a fan. Any progress is good progress. Some very simple minor things. But now that we've taken away the tachometer, which actually had a lot of the indicators inside as far as the high beam, the oil light, the neutral light, all these different lights. And as well as on the bracket, you remember those 3 little dots in the center, those were also indicator lights. But we're gonna get rid of some of them, but we need to keep some of them as well. So we need to come up with some type of idea to put some indicators on this bike that are helpful, like a neutral light and maybe a high beam light. And I'm gonna have to fabricate and come up with something that I like to put on this bike to keep the style going and to put some functionality to it. That will be next week's video. So again, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you guys next time. Cody from MotorcycleMD, bringing you guys some quality tips and tricks for your next build or your daily rider. See you next time. Later.